So as we get onto the spiritual path, a lot of doubts arise. Is this really what I should be doing? Really? This guidance, these practices? It kind of feels like I'm going in the wrong direction. At the start, yeah, it might feel like that. Because the rest of society, the collective, they're going one way. And the spiritual path appears to be going in the opposite direction. Most of our society is caught up in the bigger, better, stronger, more powerful type of lifestyle. The fame, the fortune, right? And I'm not saying that spirituality doesn't include that or can't include that. But at the start, it feels like you're definitely going in the wrong you're going in the wrong direction. It's going to feel that way or appear that way because you're using the rest of society, the rest of our culture as the reference point. And you lack the clarity to see that where everyone is going, in a sense, where the crowd is moving to, it's a dead end. It's an illusion. It's a mirage. They're all believing that the happiness is going to be found in the fame, the fortune. It's going to be found in the power, the positions. It's going to be found in their partners. And it's not. It's not. It's not. Everything that you're looking for is within you. Because the true you, the true self, is everything that you're looking for. And that's where really the journey begins, is because we're going outward, all of the things, right? Looking at in a girlfriend or a boyfriend or a husband or wife, looking for love there, looking for peace in drugs and marijuana and all that type of stuff, looking for happiness in new experiences and other types of drugs and alcohol and partying and all these type of things, looking for freedom in traveling and all of this type of stuff. I'm not saying that you can't have any of that. You can't do any of that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that what you're actually looking for, it's everlasting happiness, everlasting love, everlasting peace, everlasting freedom. It's unconditional happiness, unconditional love, unconditional peace, unconditional freedom. That's what you're after, aren't you? You see, that's the kind of the problem, because all of those things are conditioned. It's a condition. That freedom's a condition based off of if you go and explore and go and travel. The happiness isn't everlasting. It's temporary. It comes with a high. And when you're not high, you come back to feeling low. Right? It's a condition. The happiness that you get is conditional based on your success in your job. It's all conditional. It's all temporary. But what you're actually looking for is that which is unconditional and everlasting. Right? Because if you weren't looking for it, then none of that stuff would matter, because you'd have it. So what I point out is it's not out there. It's in the last place that you would ever look. It's in the last place you would ever look. Because that's where we find things, isn't it? We find things in the last place we look. Because after you find it, the search is off. You stop looking. There's no more seeking. right? There's no more seeking. And the last place you're going to look for the happiness, the love, the peace, the freedom is in you. It's within. It's the last place you're going to look. Right? So that's what I mean is everyone's kind of going outward and then you're kind of like, whoa, inward. Whoa, kind of feels, are you sure? Like everyone's going that way. And you're telling me to go that way? What? Are you sure? So this doubt kind of arises. I don't know. It's very convincing. Like, right? It's the kind of, what do we call it? Like peer pressure, like what the masses, the status quo, like status quo, they're all going that way, like a herd, right? And you're having me go in? What? Especially when when we lack the clarity, we distort everything and we can't see things as they are. It's like, well, everyone's kind of like posting how happy they are beside their cottage and their boat and their plane. And everyone's kind of posting how peaceful they are with their feet up on the beach. Smoke and mirrors. Smoke and mirrors. Illusion. Right? Right? You start seeing this. You start seeing you take the 10 wealthiest people on the planet. Not the 10 happiest. No way. Right? They're not the most peaceful. The 10 richest people on the planet. They're not the 10 most peaceful people on the planet. Right? Take someone that can travel every single day, have a house in every country, looks like freedom, but they can't be free from their mind. They're not free from suffering. They're not free from their thoughts. Right? It's not true freedom. They don't have that inner freedom, which is really the only freedom. Because the other freedom that we see when we see someone working on their laptop at like, the beach or a pool, you're like, laptop, right? Entrepreneurial freedom. That's not real. That's not real freedom. That's not real freedom. Right? That's lifestyle stuff, but that's not real freedom. The real freedom that you're after is freedom from everything. It's freedom from everything. Right? And that can't be attained, for lack of better words, in the physical form. Because how could you be free when you're confined to the physical form? Just the very nature of the physical form is not freedom. But there's something beyond that. There's something beyond this form. There's something beyond the mind. And that's what I point to. Freedom itself. That's what you are, the real you, the true self. Right? That's what you are. So that's what I'm saying. That's a deeper dimension within yourself where you discover that. So yeah, at the start, it kind of feels like, I don't know about this. Kind of sounds like some, what do people say? Not voodoo. What's the word? I don't know. Some hokey pokey stuff, right? And it's very conflicting with what you see everyone else doing. The hustle, the grind, the striving, right? The bigger, better, stronger, the harder, the gotta be tough, right? It's like everyone's saying, be tough. And Mitch is talking about being soft. What? So yeah, exactly. Because what's getting hard is the ego, right? It's the ego hardening yourself, right? The harder you are, right? The more rigid you are, which means you're not flexible. You're not flexible in life. right? You get hit. You're getting hit. You're getting hit, right? And you're grinding. You're back to the grind. You're not aligned. Grinding means there's two things, right? When you want to align yourself, you align, and there's this. I'm in alignment with something. There's alignment means I'm in an agreement. I'm in agreement with life. Grinding, there's a disagreement, right? That's what actually suffering is grinding, right? It's you going against life is suffering. You going with life is happiness, right? So, yeah, when you start seeing it and the words start really, it's not the words, it's what's behind these words that starts resonating deep at your core, that then you start hearing the truth. You start hearing truth, and it's that truth that's resonating within you. It's real, recognizing real. And you start seeing that, yeah, look at everyone grinding. Where's that getting them? It's breaking them down, right? It's breaking them down, and it's causing a lot of pain. You're on the spiritual path, or you want to get on the spiritual path. You prepare yourself for a journey. You want to have blisters on this journey? A lot of grinding, right? A lot of friction. What's grinding? Friction. A lot of friction in your shoes. It gave you a blister. You're not going to be able to travel far, right? When things are aligned, then there's no friction. I say, well, with your life, you want to align with life. There's going to be less friction, less pain and suffering, more happiness. You down for that? Of course you are. But when we don't look deep at it like that, then superficially, again, just about everyone's talking about hustle and grind, and you want me to not hustle? What? Come on, Mitch. Yeah, don't hustle. Don't hustle in the way that you are used to hustling. Because hustling is all about rushing to go somewhere. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about not going anywhere. I'm talking about being here and now, being present. Because in the present moment, that's where everything is. People are hustling. They're rushing to get to the future. But the future doesn't exist yet. It doesn't exist at all, actually. But the future's unborn. You want to go to the future? Go, hustle, get to the future. Call me when you get there. No one has ever gone to the future, and no one ever will. Not possible. But the present moment, this is all we have, right? The power of now. This is, there's only now. This is where the power is. And this is where I'm saying, is when you let go of all that hustling, letting go of all the rushing, then you can be present here and now, where you find your power, where you find happiness, where there's love, where there's peace, where there's freedom. It's all here. It's all here, right? When you're hustling someone, it's this negative connotation, like you're manipulating them, right? I'm talking about treating everyone as yourself. If you don't like being manipulated, why would you want to manipulate someone else? Right? Because all is one. If you can see that the other is really you in a different form, you can say, then, and you don't like being manipulated, and why are you going to manipulate that person? Right? So you see, like, a lot of the stuff that I'm talking about, of course it's going to feel like it's the complete opposite of what everyone's doing. It is. It is. It is. Very much. That's why the journey feels very lonely, is because just about everyone you know is going that direction and you're going the other direction. And that's why it takes trust in your guide, right? Because without a guide, we're usually lost. With a guide, well, a guide can show you the way, and it can make sure that your journey is as pleasurable, or that's not the word, as enjoyable as possible. Still doesn't sound right. So you can enjoy the journey as much as possible, right? That you're not feeling stuck and alone and lost, right? Because without that guide, then you kind of feel like you're getting stuck. You kind of feel like this doubt. You're going in one direction, you're seeing everyone like a herd, right? A herd is just, it's going, you're just walking, everyone's going this direction, you're going that direction, you're kind of looking, who else is going in this direction? Like, I don't see anybody else. Then the thought, you're going in the wrong direction. I think you're going the wrong way. I think you're lost. I think you're stuck, especially when you get some of these experiences. Like, if you've hit rock bottom, you're stuck. There's no one to help you, right? And you just keep on seeing everyone just going this direction. You're going the opposite way. Yeah, it totally feels like that, right? But if you find someone that has been that direction, and let's say there's treasure down that way, everyone's running away from it, essentially. And that one guide says, no, just trust. Just trust. Trust the direction. Trust the way. Trust the path. Keep going. Right? That can help you even if you kind of drift off direction, bring you back to the path and keep going. And is talking the walk, walking the talk. No, walking the talk. Then that's, again, some more trust. They have nothing in it to fool you. There's no, why would they? Right? Why would they? But at least that gives you, okay, someone's been there, let's say. Again, this is all very metaphorically speaking. Someone's been to where I want to go, or at least I think I want to go that way. All I know is I've tried that way a couple times, right? More than a couple times. But let's just say a couple times. I've tried that way and it's not there. And then someone comes out of nowhere. God, I think I know what you're after. See, you're probably after the same thing I was after. And I found it that way. And you're like, really? Because everyone's running from that. And it's like, yeah, they're kind of blind. They didn't see it. They don't know it's there. Right? And you're like, really? Like, yes. Yes. But don't just take my word for it. Why don't I just bring you there? Why don't I bring you there? Why don't I bring you to the treasure? Right? Seems pretty simple. Just requires some trust in the direction. And you experience it. Don't just believe me that there's treasure. Experience the treasure yourself. Then I don't want you to believe in me. I'm not asking for you to believe in me. So I'm just saying, would you like to experience it? As long as you want to experience it, right? You're curious. It's like, you've got my attention. Okay, I'm curious to know. And really you're gonna take me there? You're gonna share that treasure with me? You're not gonna just keep it all to yourself? And the guide says, of course not. It's infinite. I can't just keep it to myself. It's infinite. And the very nature of this treasure is actually to share it. So then again, you're that's kind of different. All these other people that are going this direction, they're about trying to hold on and protect everything that they have. They don't want to share. They don't know how to share. And the guy just wants to share that, right? And seems to know a lot of the things that are happening in your mind and in your experience and things that you've tried and dead ends and can point out. That's when, again, that trust starts getting greater and greater and start having more clarity, and especially when different experiences start arising where the guide can help you navigate the path, help you tell you what's coming up, right? Then you, again, more and more trust. More and more trust. And when there's more and more trust, there's less and less doubt. Right? But yeah, at the start, there's a lot of doubt because there's just so much of the masses going the wrong direction, you could say. At least this appears, right? When I'm kind of talking, it's a big analogy here, but it appears like everyone's going the wrong direction. So it's very much like, I don't know if this is right? There's so much doubt. I don't know. And it's everything that you're like not used to, right? Because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to help you undo the programming. I'm trying to help you undo the conditioning. You might say, why? But to be free from the programming, to be free from the conditioning, because your true self is unconditioned. That's the unconditional nature of unconditional happiness, unconditional peace, unconditional love, unconditional freedom, right? There's no conditions to it because the conditions have been removed, right? So that's very much why it feels like, I can see is like, everyone's going that direction and you want me to go that direction. That already feels off. And I was already going this direction. You're trying to tell me to turn around? And basically everything that I've learned in my life, you're basically wanting me to unlearn that? I don't know. I don't know if this is, you sure this is the path? Right? You sure? Yeah. Right? And then I point out all the other things. Well, yeah, but what about when you got that house and didn't the happiness just slip through your fingertips? Weren't you then, you thought that the house would bring you the happiness and you're suffering your house. You thought that the girlfriend would bring you the happiness and the love, but you're suffering your relationship. You're suffering your marriage. You're suffering your success. It's nothing but suffering. I want to show you this place where there's no suffering. It's the end of suffering. It's everything that you want, everything that you're looking for. Right? So then when I point it out, then because it's your direct experience, you can't deny it unless you kind of deny it and bury your head in the sand. You can't see that, yeah, it's that all that stuff, that is what I'm chasing. I am chasing happiness, hence the pursuit of happiness. I am chasing love, right? Hence chasing girls, chasing guys, right? I want peace of mind. Hence, that's why I smoke weed every night, or I'm pouring alcohol on my brain. I just want to shut that thing up, right? It's noisy up there. Just, would you shut up, right? I just want peace of mind. And I want freedom. That's why I'm trying to be financially free. I'm trying to just break out of this cage, right? I feel so confined. We all have these feelings. We all have it. So once you start seeing that you can't get it that way, it's a mirage. It's like the closer you get, it just disappears, and then it kind of goes a little further. Much like happiness, it always feels like it's just so it's in reach. If only I could. No, and then you go 20 kilometers that way, 20 miles that way, right? It's a little further. Where did it go? Feels like it's slipping through my fingertips. Just want to hold it a little longer, right? You start realizing that, yeah, okay, that makes sense. So when that starts becoming more evident, when the clarity to be able to see that, yes, maybe I was going the wrong way, and maybe everybody else is going the wrong way, and you start getting on the path, and then you're feeling more present. You're feeling lighter. You're feeling more at ease. You're feeling a little happier. You're feeling a little bit more peaceful. You're feeling some more love. You're feeling more free. It's that then you know you're on the path. Then you have way more trust in the guide. But the very start, it's difficult, right? So I try and create an experience to then get some trust. Try and point things out to be able to give you that clarity, right? Because at the start, there's just so much doubt. There's so much, I'm not too sure, right? This confusion. You just want me to stop running, that just halt and then go the opposite? Yeah, because you've been going that way your entire life. Don't you think you would have found it by now? Right? One direction, outward, right? Everything, relationship outward, house outward, job outward, success outward. What else am I missing here? Food outward, right? Drugs outward. Everything is outward. Don't you think you would have found it by now? But if you get radically honest and go, I haven't found it. That's in fact why I continue to go outward and search. And then someone like me comes along and says, there's another direction that you haven't tried. Right? There's another direction. Do you want to try it? You want to go there? And you go, what direction? You didn't even know it was a possibility. What? Inward. What? How? And I don't blame you, because the five senses are all outbound, right? Everything is, you're sensing everything outward. We don't have a sense to go inward, right? Hence, you need someone that knows that path, the path inward, that knows the journey inward. Someone who has the map, someone that can hold your hand, someone who can be with you, right? Someone who's found what you're looking for, right? Someone who can share what you're looking for. So, that's what I use. Early on, if you're open enough, let me share. You want some peace? Let me give you some peace. Where are you? Germany, India, South Africa, United States? Where are you? Let me give you some of that peace. And if you can start feeling some of that peace, you start, how is that possible? I'm on the other side of the world, and this guy, he's sharing his peace. He's sharing something that he found. He's sharing his treasure with me. and I'm on the other side of the world. How is this working? Like, right? It starts to give you an experience that you're experiencing that presence of peace, right? You start complaining about how noisy your mind is. Would you like no thoughts? How long? 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, sure. Right? You can experience the no mind state all the way over there in the UK. How is that possible? Right? Isn't that what you want? Don't you want just peace of mind? And you start feeling this happiness, this love. Isn't that what you want? I'm sharing it with you. Because when you find it, then that's all you want to do is share it with people. That's all you want to do. It's like everyone going this way, they're driven by happiness in the sense that they want it. But those who have found it, they're driven by happiness in a different way, they just want to share it. The happiness, the peace, the love, the freedom, it's an expression of that. Everyone else is trying to get that. But what I'm saying is, we're all trying to get that. Everyone's trying to get that. But they're trying to get it in a direction that's impossible. You don't get it outward. You don't get it. It's not going to come from anything that's materialistic. It's not going to come from outside, because it only exists within you. That's where I found it. And I want to point you right to that spot. I want to take you right there. And once you get a taste of it, then I want to go back. I want to get back there to that happiness. I want to get back there to the freedom. I want to get back there to the love. I want to get back there to the peace, right? And I say, get back to where? Didn't you just experience it within you? And you kind of go, yeah. Then what do you mean get back to where? Isn't it here? Isn't it now? Didn't you just experience it here and now? And you go, yeah. Didn't you experience it inside you, within you? Yeah. Right? You get a taste of it. Right? So let me help you. Let me help you experience that all the time. You go, okay. Right? So it's kind of what I do, right? Well, in the sense that at the start, you hear these things, you go, that doesn't make sense. I want to be strong. And this guy's telling me to be soft, right? I want to be, bigger by adding things to me. And this guy, he's telling me to remove things, right? I want to hustle and grind. He's talking about aligning, right? A lot of these things. So they seem like very contradictory to everything that you've heard, right? Because this is not what like the masses are talking about, like, which is more like personal development, which is like building up the person, and right? It's not that. This is levels beyond that, right? And if you have ears to hear the message, then you're ready. You're ready to accept the invitation to the journey within. And that's the journey. It's really the only journey. So if that sounds good, then that's what I'm saying. I'm inviting you on that journey. And I'd be honored to guide you to everything that you want. Right? To come back home. In reality, you never left back home. You never left home. But that's going to get kind of confusing for this video. But it's mainly to just address that confusion that we get at the start, where it's like, I don't know if this is it. I don't know if this feels right. So I thought that kind of explained why that feels like that. Why? What are the different things, right? The masses are going this way, and I'm telling you go that way. It seems like they're after the exact same thing that you're after, but you're then going in a different direction. So then you're kind of doubting yourself. And you've been programmed to go this way. You've been conditioned to go this way. And someone's getting you now to question those programs, question the conditioning, ask you if it's worked out ever in your life. Has it ever worked out that way? And trying to get you to be radically honest with yourself and to have the clarity to see that it's never happened that way. And getting you to be even more clear and see that it's not possible. It's not possible. So then this kind of option going this way, going outward, I should say this, let's make it this way. Going outward is not an option anymore. Right? So then that option's removed. That direction's removed, and then now it's okay, well, what other directions left? But then now you're faced with where do I start? How do I go? It's kind of like, how do you do that? What do you do? How do you get in there? Right? It sounds so cool, right? The journey within, the power within. It sounds cool, but like what are we talking about? Right? What is this journey? Right? So that's what I'm saying, is for someone who's taken the journey, right? Who's discovered exactly what you want to discover. Let me take you there.